What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord, here with his good buddies Dion and Mike Zuber from One Rental at a Time. And the thing we wanted to talk about today was we are active real estate investors. And so the question is, what's going to be the most difficult thing about what we try and do in 2023? We're now a couple months in, and the market's definitely a little bit wonky. I mean, I've seen rate swings of 1.5 points. So I'm very interested to see what my good buddies have to say about what they think is going to actually happen in 2023 and how they believe they're going to be the most challenged. So without further ado, Mike Zuber, what are you going to do about 2023?
So I think, so when you kind of sprung this on us, the first thing that jumped to me is being patient, right? I have history and experience, 20 some odd years. I've been through a cycle like this before. I am, generally speaking, been pretty good at calling what's going on in not only the residential, but the commercial market. I am ecstatic about the opportunities that are coming to the commercial market. I have enough capital to get several buildings done on my own. I have access to millions of dollars if I wanted to do other things. And I have a portfolio of residential properties that I hope to repeat what I did in my first book, One Rental at a Time. If you haven't read that book, you should. But I took Norris Drive and turned it into a 5-unit. I turned Terrace into an 8-unit. I turned this into that. So I am ecstatic to repeat how I turned 8 units into 80. And let's just say my stack's bigger than 8 today. So I am ecstatic by what's coming. We're in the first inning. I have the relationships. I will get more. But I also need to realize we're in the first inning.
Yeah.
Right. The best opportunities might be in the 5th or 6th inning. But for me, it's balancing excitement, opportunity with, you don't have to go fast. Sometimes going slow. So for me, it is just about being patient. I'm not really that good at being patient.
I was just going to say, you just probably named the toughest thing as an investor to do, which is I created the cash, I created the relationship, and now
and the dominoes are falling. It's like, don't get the third domino, get the 9th domino.
Like, that was the thing, is I had somebody send me a price or send me a house, and I was like, it's a deal. It's 25% off. I want 45 or 50.
Exactly.
And it was like, well, but you don't understand. No, you don't understand. I don't have to buy anything.
I don't have to.
Like, I want something ridiculously amazing. So for Mike, it is patience. Dion, for you, what is the toughest thing about investing in 2023, do you think?
So it kind of plays off of patience, and this is from the Marine Corps, but I think this is all military, all government jobs if you've ever had it. It's the concept of hurry up and wait. And the idea is, if you're a cog in the wheel of the military or government, you don't ever want a delay to be your fault.
Right?
Everything is going to get delayed, but if it's your fault, that's bad. So investing is the same. I want to make sure all the ducks are in a row. Everything that I can be doing is in place. That could be, how am I searching for the deal? Right? If I'm not searching for we talked about it on One Rental at a Time in one of those videos where bad debt structure in 5 to 40 units, it might be something that implodes in the next couple of years. That's actually going to be a skill I have to develop. I have not surged in that asset class in the past. So I've always done 4 units or less as an investment. I've been searching 8 units or less because Convoy Home Loans has a fixed rate loan product on up to 8 units. But now, if debt structures are going to implode and I'm in a position where I stacked cash, and 2023 is kind of like 2022. Rates are on the rise. Everyone knows rates are going up. Prices haven't come down, right? There are some markets where they have, but there are some markets, like my market has only, so it was up 19% last year over year, in beginning of 2022. This year, it's only up 5.6%. So everybody's like, oh, it's down from 19 to 5.6. That's an increase on top of the 19, which is on top of the 24 from the year before. So prices are still going up, not as fast, not as far, while rates are going up. So the hardest thing for me this year is learning a new skill set on finding an asset class I haven't looked at before, while making sure I have hurried up to wait. Stacking cash, increasing income on all, while in retirement. And I am trying to learn how to spend. I'm not quite at the buy an RV, buy a forever home kind of thing. I think I have about $500,000 I want to put into another rental, which could be a 6 to 10 unit somewhere in there. Could be, but in 2021, I was looking for a fourplex. We made several videos where I was looking to invest $1 million. I wanted to invest $1 million, buy $1 million fourplex, and I bought a $400,000 duplex because it was the deal that I found. So whatever best deal pops up is going to be what I go for. But that's my challenge, is trying to learn something new.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things, I think for me, the most difficult thing that I'm trying to put in place, I think the most difficult thing about investing in 2023 is relationships. It's relationships. I sat there really kind of thinking about it, and I was like, I can't control rate. I can't control what assets come available. But I was like, what would be the thing that would really bother me? What would be the thing that would really bother me if I didn't execute on it in 2023? And I was like, you know what? If I see a house or a building that ends up going for sale, or I find out trading hands 3 months later after it does, and I knew that person and I wasn't in front of them enough, or I didn't know that person, I'm going to have to go a little bit mental. So for me, it's all about that really supreme level of networking. Now I have made a point of every single month for the last 6 months, sending an email saying, hey, hope all is going well. I'm really excited about what 2023 has to offer. The portfolio is behaving, or acting exactly as we would have hoped. I'm sending this to my banks and saying, please keep me in mind if there's ever an asset that you feel like you'd want that something happens where the bank needs to call it or needs an operator to come in and start steering the ship differently. I'd at least love to have that conversation with you. And so that's the thing right now, that I'm doing all of that work now, so I don't have to scream 9 months from now, 15 months from now, 18 months from now. And I'm like, damn it. That's somebody that I talked to. That's somebody that I know. I actually, I knew the guy that owned it, whatever. And so I'm readily in front of those people with emails or stopping by their office and saying, oh, hey, how's it going? Talking to attorneys, closing attorneys or real estate attorneys. They know who's struggling. They know there's a couple of guys here that want to do these big, huge pie in the sky projects. And I was like, I think that's awesome. I think you'd absolutely should do it. Why don't you let me take some of your crap assets off your hands? I'm more than happy to take some of your junk, and I'll value add it. But I think the biggest thing for me in 2023 is valuing those relationships, creating those relationships. And this is what I talk about all the time in my course, is you must be networking. Yes, your network is your net worth, but you must be networking consistently all the time. It's not like, oh, I talked to that guy 6 months ago. Who cares? You need to be in front of them every 4 to 6 weeks for them to remember your name, and staying in front of them and having that conversation and making sure that they recognize that you are a fantastic buyer of maybe last resort in some cases. Mike, what do you think about all that?
I think that's ideal. I mean, I think, as Deanna and I talked about being patient or not being the slow cog in the wheel. One of the things you should be doing, and oh, by the way, it's something we all could do, is networking.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, I've been networking in Fresno for 22 years or so, maybe 17 years. I didn't do it very well the first 5. But I need to be better. There's all kinds, like the bankers that I dealt with in 2010, 11, 12, they're not in banking, or they're at different places. Gone. I need new ones, right? So I've started that. And you're absolutely right. I remember there was a deal that got done. Somebody I knew, some lender I knew, I was like the second phone call. I'm like, why wasn't I the first?
Yeah.
Right. So those things eat at you. So yeah. And again, stay in front every 6 weeks. Again, I can tell you this is coming. It's not a question of if, it's a question of how long the innings are, because you get some extend and pretend and, some of that stuff. But the pain has started. You don't have Blackstone, Brookfield, and PIPCO default on loan. These folks have cash,
right?
But the debt is non-recourse. The rates are higher, cap rates are down, or cap rates are up, rates are up, the rents are down, and there's going to be blood in the streets. So yeah, network. You're absolutely right. I love it.
Dion, your thoughts?
I thought we were going to make it through a video where I didn't take a contrarian view.
Damn it.
But not today.
So
to grow a portfolio to the size that you guys have, the networks are very important. Your network is your net worth. And I literally, it's contrarian. So it wasn't the network, it was the relationships. When you said, your hardest part in 2023 is going to be the relationships, maintaining, keeping top of mind awareness for those things that come up. I'm the opposite. I don't have any relationships, not personal, not professional. My lenders, while the brokers know me, they know that they're going to see at least 2 or 3 others lenders paperwork in front of them when I close on a deal, because I'm going to say, look, I don't care about you. I care which one is the best deal, but I'm going to be honest. I'll have ethics in this and give you a shot.
Sure.
My agents are the same, but I don't have a lender doing what happened with Zuber, calling you and saying, hey, there's this person that's completely fallen on their face. Would you like to take this deal? Right. So I don't have that, but I don't have the goal of growing a portfolio to that size. If I think it took relationships, so this is for the people watching who might be half the introvert that I am. Doesn't seem like it because I'm here talking to everybody, right? I'm sitting in a room looking at a camera. I was
going to say, you just lost half the room.
This is how you invest as an introvert, right? I did this because for me, it doesn't take relationships. Date the agent, date the lender, date the handyman, date the whatever, marry the property. That's my relationship, is those properties give me freedom to do whatever I want forever. And so I don't think building relationships is wrong. I think there are some people out there that it would be, like for me, it would be a barrier.
Got it.
If I had to have relationships to do this, I'd probably work and suffer through that relationship.
Dion's the REI hoe.
REI hoe, right? Rentable.
Yes. Very absolutely.
Time.
Without a doubt. So, Mike, in this regard, one of the things I'm curious if you've found, I have found that many of the people, I'd say 80 to 90% of the people that I have relationship with, that they're not even in the game that I want to go get, that 5 to 40.
Yeah,
so it's like 10 or 20%, maybe.
No,
I don't even think it's
so
that.
So I've been here before.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure this is accurate. Yeah, zero.
Yeah.
0% of the agents I've worked with the last 3 or 4 years will be the agents I work with 5 to 40. It's a different game. It's different vocabulary. Thankfully, the number 1 or number 2 agent in commercial in my market is a guy that I talk to him every 6 months or so. He calls me, I call him. Shout out Michael. But yeah, that's a different game.
Yeah.
The other thing that's good for folks is it's a much smaller game. Like in Fresno, the ratio will be correct. The numbers will probably be wrong. Let's just say there's 5,000 real estate agents, licensed residential real estate agents. If there's 5,000 resis, there's probably 100 that do commercial, but only 20 that do deals.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So once you know who the 20 are,
that's right.
Pick up the phone, get their emails. If you live in the city, knock on their doors, bring them donuts, something.
Well,
it's a much smaller list.
Yeah, you got to fish where the fish are. And for me, that's what I realized is that on the broker side, it's maybe 1 or 2 of the brokers that I work with.
None of mine. Zero.
It's maybe a couple. And then on the other side of it, on the banking side, I am talking to the senior lender. So they're usually over resi and over commercial.
Yeah.
So that is a carry, but almost nothing else is. Like inspections and any of that, like none of it.
Appraisals are different. Resi appraisal versus commercial.
Oh my word. A resi appraisal you can get for between $700 and $1,100. The cheapest commercial appraisal I've ever seen. And this is on a 5 unit. It was still $4,000, $4,500, $4,300. It was insane.
Inspections are different.
Everything is different.
It's a different game.
It's a completely different game.
Down payment's different.
Yeah. I mean, 25, 30 points at least. And that's the thing is, if we're going to be taking over an asset, ideally, if we're going to be taking over an asset, then we put ourselves in a position where it's like only in that role. And that's what I think Michael and I are after so much is only in that role do we not have to come to the table with a bunch of cash.
Yeah. I mean, I've done this before. One of the my standard negotiation is you're going to give me the loan, you're going to give me a discount on rate, and then we're going to pick a number that you want me to escrow for repairs. Because typically you're taking over an asset that needs a lot of love.
That's right.
So I've done between 50 and 75,000 of escrowed funds, but it's money I would have spent anyway, right?
Exactly.
It's like, just okay, fine. I gotta get you pictures and a receipt. So be it.
Right.
But worked out really, really well.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger in the negotiation. Like it's not even a thing. So yeah, I appreciate you guys' input on this because, like I said, I think that 2023 is going to be different for us. And even though Dion is perfecting the introvert investor, there you go. You're welcome. Even though he's perfecting that, it's still going to be one of those things where even though he's the REI ho, he's still going to get deals done. And Mike and I are greatly looking forward to there's going to be that day. Inning 4, inning 5, inning 6, we're going to get the phone call and it's going to be holy crap, that's the biggest building I own.
It happened again.
Exactly.
That's what I'll be saying is, Olivia, it happened again. The president of the bank called us.
Yeah.
And he met us at the building in a suit. I still remember that day. It was August. The guy was wearing a suit. It was 110 or something. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
He wanted that building gone.
Yeah. So lucky, Zoob. So lucky. So Zoob, tell me where they can find you, my friend.
One rental at a time. I shouldn't be hard, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, website, all the above.
All of those things. And Dion?
You can find me right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, where Tuesdays, like today, 4 p.m. Pacific, I do live streams. And the one today is going to be how being an introvert is a superpower when it comes to investing.
I get it. I get it. You don't have to talk to people and you still do real estate deals. I get it. All right, guys. As I always tell you, we try and create great content for you. Please make sure that you hit that like button. Also subscribe. Check Dion out on his live stream tonight, 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and One Rental at a Time on their daily financial news and the gobs and gobs of amazing interviews that he does with all these other real estate experts in all the different disciplines and areas that you could ever want to care about. And if you're not tired of all of that, check out Oh Shit, I'm a Landlord Now What, my amazing course where we have a fantastic boot camp every single Sunday. Would love for you to participate in that because so far the early returns are, I can't believe how much money this is saving me. So that's what we're going to continue to do for folks. So as I always say, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Ciao.
Ciao.